Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, if you're a user of MREs, as I am, or perhaps was, you know how expensive they've gotten recently. Years and years ago, I used to just go into military surplus stores and pick up an entire case for, 40 bucks. And I'd take them in my pack, I'd take them in the pickup, just whenever I was out. Sometimes I'd just eat them for lunch at home because I like MREs. But rising prices have made that pretty much impossible for my budget. So what I am doing and have been doing is searching out substitutes for MREs. And so I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorites. Okay, I have here on the left some of my favorite substitutes that match up to the contents that come in an average MRE meal. So a lot of the MRE meals that I've been buying most recently have been coming with a main course, some kind of a little packet of trail mix, dried fruit mix, little packet of jelly or peanut butter, a dessert like this Ranger chocolate chip bar, and some powdered drink mix. This is fruit punch flavored powdered drink mix. So for less than half the money, I have the exact same things here, and I want to just share with you some of my favorites. And you can see how you can substitute the same things out basically that you would have in an MRE, and you can still store these for years, like Cliff Bars, for example, or Hormel Completes. This particular one is Dinty Moore Beef Stew, my favorite. I've stored these things for years. I've thrown them in a pack, and a couple years later, I've opened up the Cliff Bar, and it was great. Same with the stew. Something I've done in the past is I have one of those vacuum sealers, and I've taken a meal like this right here, put it in the vacuum sealed bag, sealed it up, thrown it in the closet, and then several years later, opened it up, and everything in there tasted fresh. Absolutely fantastic. So basically, I was sealing it up in a larger container, so I had my own MRE. Let's go through and just take a look here. And while we're doing that, I'm actually going to cook one of these up. I got my Stanley Cup, my Esbit stove, which is a part of my bug out bag. I've got one in my Esbit stove in my bushcraft kit. I've got an extra one in the house for power outages and a lot of extra fuel tabs stored up. So we'll start with the main course so I can get this cooking. Okay, we got an MRE beef stew. Now I looked online this morning and the cheapest that I could find, the MRE beef stew, if I wanted to just buy the entrees, which is something I used to do, MRE beef stew was $4.75. That's the cheapest online I could find an MRE beef stew. That's 8 ounces of stew. I'm going to set that off to the side. I went into Bimart and picked up this Dinty Moore beef stew, which gives me 9 ounces of beef stew, about 10 more calories, and paid $2.39. And I know that if you wait for sale and stuff, you can still get them at $2.09. So $4.75 versus just a little over $2. I'm saving more than $2.50 per meal. Add that up over 10 meals and you've saved 25 bucks, which you can reinvest in a lot more meals. And again, these things store for years. And out here, if you got something like a little Esbit stove, or you just want to hang this over a fire, I've drilled holes in the side of my Stanley Cup. So I, at times, will cook right over a fire. I'll hang this right over the flames from the bale. So this is a perfect substitute. I'm going to open that up for the MRE beef stew. And before I talk about everything else, I'm going to actually get this cooking. So what I've done is I've put some water in here. set that off. The wind is coming this way. So one other thing I've done, if you've seen this in past videos, I cut the lid off of a can and made a windscreen for one side of my Esbit stove. So like today when it's in the wind, I can always block off that side. So I'm going to get that little tab in here lit. Move this so you guys can see. And there we go. That's burning. You can see that flame in there. Yep. All right. And then I will take my Denny Moore beef stew, Hormel Complete, and I'm just going to shove it right down inside. Actually, it'll go this way. Take that off there so I can secure that for a minute, because you got to squeeze the sides a little bit. It's a tight fit. Okay, and add just a hair more water. There we go. And that will just sit in there and basically come to a boil. So you don't need a microwave or electricity or anything to cook those MRE completes. They cook up just fine in a Stanley cup or little pot. The Pathfinder cups work well too. I just like this Stanley because it's a little bit taller, so I can get this down farther in the water. So while that's cooking, okay, we talked about the main course. So if you want to buy just entrees, $4.75 for 8 ounces of beef stew versus as low as $2.09 on sale for 9 ounces of beef stew. Both store for years. Both are easy to cook in an emergency situation. Then these kits usually have some kind of a dessert. So we'll compare here. We've got a chocolate chip Ranger bar, and for under $1, I just bought a box of these 2 days ago, so they came out to under $1 a piece. Cliff chocolate chip bar, energy bar, and the Cliff chocolate chip energy bar has some added nutrition to it, 9 grams of protein. So I'm actually getting, again, these for cheaper and more nutrition. Side dish. I haven't seen the peanut butter for a while, but I do know that they get them. I've been getting the grape jellies a lot. But these, I go to the dollar store, and these come in packs of 3 for $1 at the dollar store, so I'm paying 33 cents a piece for these. And this is peanut butter, and there's 250 calories in one of these, and I really like to slather these all over that Cliff bar, which makes it about a 500 calorie bar that's just loaded with protein and fats and things to fill you up when you need it. Some kind of a little drink mix usually comes in the MRE, again, like this fruit punch flavored drink. And I went on Amazon and ordered a box of 24 variety pack of flavors of Gatorade. This is the same flavor, fruit punch. In fact, I think they're basically about the same size. The Gatorade actually feels heavier. Let's see if it has a weight here. Yeah, this is for 12 ounces of water, and this is for 20 ounces of water. So you're going to get more in here. So again, more value, less money. Other thing I've been seeing in the MRE kits that I've most recently bought is these little pouches of trail mix or dried fruit like this. Well, I also went into the dollar store, and it came in a bigger plastic bag, but there were 3 I put them all in a Ziploc. 3 pouches of raisins, peanuts, and little chocolate imitation M&Ms. 3 pouches for $1. So I've actually got about at least twice, maybe more, 2.5 times as much trail mix in here as in here. So all of that, guys, again, substitutes. I just matched an average MRE. I've got the main course, beef stew. I've got the a side dish, you know, nutrition bar. I've got the trail mix, the drink, and some really good peanut butter. This, by far, in my opinion, good old Jif, far outclasses the MRE peanut butter. So MREs right now, if you buy even a case, they're coming out to anywhere from $10 and change to over $12 a piece for the meal with those few items in it. And going to a dollar store, getting your peanut butter packets and trail mix at the dollar store, buying things like the Gatorade powder and the Cliff Bars in quantity. Again, catching the completes when they're on sale. They come on sale here where I'm at really regularly at Bi-Mart. They come on sale and then I buy a bunch of them. I'm paying less than $5 for more nutrition, better quality food really, than I am to buy the same setup in an MRE for up to $12 or more. And again, if you really want to stick away a bunch for long-term storage, those vacuum sealers work great. I just seal them up in a vacuum sealer and throw a bunch in the closet. Like I said, I did that and I opened them up years later and they were fantastic. So that being said, we've put the Stanley Cup on. Can you see that steaming? Yeah, my water is starting to bubble up a little bit. So that is heating. I'm going to let that sit for another 2 or 3 minutes. I'll pause you guys and we'll pull that out. And again, just imagine if you are someone that preps, okay, you live in, you know, the hurricane zone or the tornado areas, earthquakes, or just prepare for potential power outages, and you're thinking along the lines of MREs because you can cook them without electricity. Well, here you go. Esbit stove, get a bunch of extra fuel tablets, and you can cook up your MREs. I mean, not your MREs, although you could cook those in there too. I've done that. But things like completes and other meals that come in pouches that you can pick up at the store. You've got a complete, simple cooking system. And if you are headed for the backcountry, where I spend much of my time, I've got a great, better tasting substitute for MREs. So let me pause you guys for about 2 or 3 minutes, let this finish bubbling up, and then we'll have some hot stew. Okay, here we go. I put my little flame out, pulled this off. I also flipped this over. So the very top on this side was sticking out of the water, so I pulled this out and just turned it over, shoved it back down in so both sides would cook. So we have got hot beef stew. No electricity required. More food. Better tasting. Oh, look at that. For less money. Far less money. If you're just buying the entrees than MRE. So, can you guys see that down in there? Oops, I'm losing my gravy. I don't want to do that. That's delicious. That is delicious. Big old chunk of meat there. And it's nice and warm. There we go. So again, guys, if you are into MREs and they've just gotten to be too expensive for your budget, because in all honesty, they pretty much have for mine, these are some of my favorite substitutes for the MREs. Again, don't forget to check your dollar store if you've got one where you live, because like these, 33 cents a piece. And again, the little pouches are averaging 33 cents a piece on the trail mix. And I'm sure that you can find, you know, different types of granola bars and things there that you might want to add. Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to enjoy lunch. Take care.